Well, hello and welcome, heads. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I thought I'd pick up where we left off. Last time we were doing this, we were trudging through INXS's catalogue, and we're getting quite far. Last time we did The Swing. Great album, actually. Really, really, really wonderful album in Australian music history, but we're about to talk about an album that's much, much better than that. And it might even be blasphemy even saying that, but this is an album that I hold very, very close and near and dear to my heart. This is probably my favorite INXS album, and in a minute you'll see why. We're about to talk about Listen Like Thieves. And yes, this is a original copy from 1984. That beautiful gatefold. And this is my favorite part. Because you rarely get to see this if you don't own the original or a copy that's replicating the original really well. The inner sleeve that the record goes in, I don't know, some boomer in the comments might tell me that you don't know what it's called, yada yada yada. It's all good, at least I'm playing with it. But yeah, I just love the color work. Purple and yellow, Lakers colors. It's very, very LA, despite the fact that it was not recorded in LA, but we'll get to that in a minute. Yep, as you can see, hopefully you can see, INXS 1985. May or may not have even focused there for you. I hope it does focus, because I've got it on manual right now, so hopefully we're getting some pretty good results. It's not doing what it did last time. We're evolving, guys, we're evolving. As you can see behind me, we're evolving. But anyway, and here we have it, INXS, Listen Like Thieves. It was recorded over a 3-month period, and it was released on October the 14th, 1985. Its lead single was What You Need, followed by This Time, Kiss the Dirt, and lastly, Listen Like Thieves, the title track that the album is named after. So we've got the vinyl here. Now here you know why I really, really love this album. This is the 2011 remaster CD. Now I like it because they really tried to replicate like an old school sort of CD, but this isn't my favorite CD copy that I've got. My favorite CD copy is my original 1985 Listen Like Thieves. A lot of you Aussies might recognize this. And as you can see, it's Simple Sally. Just a miniature version of what the vinyl record was back in the day. But it also has the same cool color scheme. And there's the full photo on the back that is in the gatefold of the vinyl record. Pretty neat, huh? So we've got the track listing here. We've got What You Need, which was the lead single off this album. Then we have Listen Like Thieves. We have Kiss the Dirt, which ended up being the third single of this album. Then we have Shine Like It Does, Good Times Plus Bad Times, Biting Bullets, This Time, Three Sisters, Same Direction, One by One. There's an X that goes in the middle, but you'll know why it's called One by One if you listen to the song. And Red Red Sun closes off. There's 11 tracks and it goes for approximately 37 minutes and 16 seconds. It was produced by Chris Thomas. Now, Chris Thomas is a very, very famous English record producer. I would be here forever if I had to explain his work. But let's just say he's worked with a few very, very famous people and some very, very underground people that you wouldn't really know of, particularly a group from Liverpool that not many people have really heard of. And another group, I think from like the 70s or whatever, called themselves Pink something. But anyway, back to INXS. This album was recorded in 3 months' time. Now, they recorded their last album, I believe, in a couple of studios. I believe maybe one in France and I think one in New York. But this one was recorded at home, ladies and gentlemen, at a very, very famous record studio that's not around anymore. It's called Rhinoceros Recording Studios. And while they were at Rhinoceros Recording Studios, they came to a bit of a dilemma, right? They had recorded all of these songs, right? They were missing one song. Their producer, Chris Thomas, came to them and said, this is a great album, boys, but you're just missing one sort of like, you're missing a single. We can't put this out if we don't have a single, pretty much. So the band went back the exact same day that they were told that, later on that night, and they got to work on another song, which they only really had like basic demos for or whatever, and they bashed it out in one night, and that song ended up becoming the lead title track, What You Need. Now, What You Need was a pretty successful song for the band. It actually charted at number 5 on the US Top 200 charts and charted at number 2 on the Australian singles charts. It was led by a pretty groovy music video, if you want to see up here. And if there's anything I could say about the title track, What You Need, it's perfect. Pretty well perfect. It's a hard-hitting track. It's a bit of a difficult song to play on drums, especially if you haven't warmed up. Let's just say that. It's a bit of a cool riff from bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum. And it's a very, very earwormy type song. Once you've heard it, you'll probably be humming it for the rest of the day. So that's the very, very first track that this album starts with. Is an absolute classic. The next song we'll be looking at is the song that the album is named after, which I often toss up in my soul, debating between which is better, What You Need or Listen Like Thieves. As you see, the title track of the album. Now, Listen Like Thieves is actually a pretty cool song. It's of a similar vein to What You Need, but I guess you could say it's a little bit slower and it's a little bit more rhythmic arena rock. All right, this is perfect for perfect for the arenas. And if you've seen INXS live at Wembley, or at least the recordings of it, or if you've seen them play this live, you'll know why. It's got a massive chorus. Chorus is absolutely amazing, and I believe it's what keeps the song going pretty much the whole way through. Everyone's waiting for everybody's down on their knees. Listen like thieves. It's absolutely, you can't get it out of your head. It's the exact same as What You Need, and it's another earwormy track that once you hear it, you won't forget it. It's absolutely awesome. It's got a killer bass line, killer drums. Everyone on it is absolutely, I'm going to use a Gen Y? I'm going to use our term. Everyone on that track is tweaking. Absolutely tweaking. That's INXS at its absolute best. After that, we take a little bit of a sharp turn and we go a little bit of a curveball. We have a song that's a little bit slower, a little bit more like a ballad, should I say. Now, you'll get very familiar with the term ballad in a minute, but let me just fill you in here, right? This song's called Kiss the Dirt, right? Again, another single off this album. So we've got 3 singles all at once. Bang, 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 bang. This album is nothing but hits straight away. Kiss the Dirt is a bit of a slow song, and I love it. It was, when I was younger, it was one of my favorite INXS songs, and it was one of the first ones I learnt on guitar. It's pretty easy, so if you're a kid and you like INXS, maybe try learning Kiss the Dirt on acoustic guitar, because it's really fun, really fun song to play. But it's got a bit of a catchy guitar riff, dun dun dun. It starts off with the 3 strums of the guitar at the start, and then the rest of the band comes in. Now, they chug along and pulse while Michael just, you know, sort of just keeps it cool, keeps it sort of mellow with the vocals and with the lyrics. And then when they break into the chorus, it's got a bit of like a funky rhythm. It kind of picks up. Bum ba dum bum bum ba da dum ba da ba bum ba dum. It's absolutely immaculate in the way that it's arranged and the way that it's composed. I mean, it's INXS. Can't really complain, can you? The next song we're going to go to after that is a song that's, again, it's almost like, you know, they were in love with writing these sorts of songs at the time, but most of the people in the 80s were. It's a song called Shine Like It Does. Now, this is a song that I believe the lyrics for this song are on Michael Hutchinson's headstone. If it's not a headstone, I believe it's a memorial stone, but it's somewhere in the Northern Beaches, I believe. I'll put a photo up there for you. But anyway, this is probably one of the most beautiful tracks they've ever written. They've written some very beautiful tracks lyrically, Michael Hutchins as well. But this one here is just something that just hits the soul. It's something that words can't really describe. For me anyway, it's like a Purple Rainy type song. You know, it's on that sort of level. It's a song that lacks description. Words can't really describe it or do it justice. So listen to that song. You'll love it. It's slow. It's beautiful. It's another sort of ballad. It's introspective. It's wonderful. Now after that, we go to a song that's bit of a turn, like from the last two ballads that we just had. It's very, very funky. This is probably, in my opinion, maybe the best bass and drum performance on the album. And you'll know it once you get to about the bridge of the song, where it's just bass and drums and it's just straight funk. And they're really underrated for their funk grooves and just their rhythm section INXS. It doesn't get enough sort of recognition for its funkiness. You know, you don't really expect that from an Aussie sort of pub band. You know, you expect Four on the Floor, AC/DC. No. But no, this is absolutely... Again, this is absolutely an immaculate funk track. And it's got a bit of, again, more introspective type sort of lyrics, you know, where Michael's sort of talking to the listener or whatever. Now, the song we have after this is, we're pretty much picking up the tempo again. We're going, just crashing straight into it with a song called Biting Bullets. Now, this is another sort of introspective song. They must have been going through a bit of an introspective time. It picks up the tempo, it's very, very fast, and we're using some more sort of effects and sort of, I guess you could say, like tricky production sort of techniques and tricks on this sort of song. I feel like it's very, very synth sort of driven, especially in the chorus. Like the chorus is like, biting bullets, biting them now. But the synths that come in after it, I feel like, is what actually makes that chorus. It's not the vocal hook at all. So this is more of a track that the band kind of shines on. Michael does have moments where he does sort of seep through and, you know, absolutely comes through with the normal Michael Hutchins that you always expect of him. But this one's more of a song where the band sort of shines. Now the next song that we have, again, we've got another ballad. Nothing wrong with that. You know, this song's actually got some really good ballads on it. The first two have been great. And this last one, I have to say, out of all of them, for me, might be the weakest one, but it's still fitting very, very well on this record. It doesn't seem like the shoe doesn't fit with this one. So with this one, this song's called This Time. And again, it's another introspective sort of love ballad sort of song. Starts off slow, but then it sort of goes into like a bit of a, I guess you could say, like a rhythmic dance track. And it finishes very, very strongly. It's got a very, very nice pre-chorus, and leading into the chorus where it opens up, it's absolutely immaculate. Again, it's another song that you will not be disappointed with, and just because it's got a title of a ballad doesn't mean it's not a fun listen. You know what I mean? And just because I said it was probably the weakest out of the three ballads doesn't mean it's a weak song in general, because it's a very, very strong song. It's on this album. It has to compete with other strong songs. That's its problem. We have an instrumental here. Now, this song is called Three Sisters. Now, if you don't know what the Three Sisters are, they're like some, for lack of a better term, some rocks in this place called the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. They're pretty cool, right? They're pretty cool to go see. Anyway, the sound of this song is the sound of the Blue Mountains. It's the sound of wildlife in Australia. It's probably the closest thing I could get to the sound of a proper bushwalk. Honestly, it's Australia through and through. Now we take a bit more of a rhythmic turn. So it's on the good side. It's a bit more on the disco-y sort of side to explain it. This song's called Same Direction, right? Starts off with the bass and drums. Very, very 80s. Right? Very, very, very 80s. And as a matter of fact, it reminds me of I Would Die For You by Prince off the 1984 album Purple Rain. Now, what makes that interesting is this album came out in 1985. So maybe they were a little bit influenced by that sort of sound or whatever. I always felt like INXS was kind of like Australia's answer to Prince. At least at this time anyway, with the sound, because again, we're talking about very similar sounds. If you listen to Purple Rain and then listen to this, damn, you would think that INXS might have been the revolution, but that's disrespectful to Michael Hutchence and the type of star power that he had. So the next song we'll look at after that is another great song. It's called One by One. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. When your heart stops beating. It's, you can tell I really, really enjoy that song. It's a song that sounds like it's swung, but it's straight. When you listen to it and you count to it, it's straight, but it sounds like it's swung. It's very, very, off. I wouldn't say off-putting, for lack of a better term, off-putting, but it's very, very rhythmic, right? So it's a straight sort of swingy sort of song, and it's a big band sort of vibe. It's got horns, it's got some strings on it, I believe. It's got everything you want from a big band sort of song, almost like a Sinatra sort of vibe, or like a big band, sort of like a 30s band orchestra, you know, like, you know, with the big drums and all that sort of stuff. So that's just another song that's, again, immaculate. Now we close the album off with a song called Red, Red Sun. For an album like this, I couldn't find a better closer, to be honest. This tops everything that they've closed their albums with up until this point. It's almost perfect. It's incorporated everything that has been great about this album until this point, and pretty much just put it in one song and fired it out of a cannon. It's a bit fast. It leaves its mark on you as it goes through the whole song. And once it's finished, it's absolutely like, you want to put the album on again pretty much after it's finished. And you wouldn't mind that needle going back onto side A and listening to it again, going through What You Need and all the other amazing tracks in this record again. And there we have it, guys. That was INXS, Listen Like Thieves. Now, if I have to give it a score out of 10, because I believe we're doing scores out of 10, I might have missed a few last time, but we're not going to miss them anymore. I'm going to give this one a solid 8 out of 10. I have to be fair here and not biased, because I could give it a straight 10 out of 10 just because I've got such an attachment to it, but we have something that we're going to see very, very soon that might top this. At least chart-wise anyway. There's a very, very famous moment when Chris Murphy's arguing with a reporter, I believe, and he asked when was the last, and he asked when was the last, and he asked what was the last number that Midnight Oil charted at, and I believe the guy said something like, there was a very, very famous moment where Chris Murphy was talking to a news reporter, and he said this. That's the kind of impact that this album had. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I'd like for you to tune in next time, and we'll see you again. I've been Mickey. This has been Alas. Hope you've had a good one.